Stack tonight. You normally see him as our mixologist outside in the bar, but by night he is a magician as well.
Woo!
Our bartender, Zach.
Yeah!
All right. We'll take one night off, and that's the night all the drinkers show up. I see. All right, rock on. All right. Now, of course, after watching Jeff McBride, one of the best magicians in the world when he knows to card manipulation, and then him immediately followed by saying, this gentleman over here is going to be the next biggest, and probably now the biggest non-professional magician card manipulator in the world, I decided to do a card routine. I run a lot of alcohol. I'm familiar about having a lot of bad decisions. In order to do this, though, most bad decisions are going to need someone to do them with. So I would like you, ma'am, if you wouldn't mind helping me out. Yes, please, of course, the one that was yawning. Perfect, yes. If you wouldn't mind joining me right over here on stage. What is your name, ma'am? Brooklyn. Oh, very nice, very nice. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, this is Brooklyn. Brooklyn. Have you helped magicians before?
I have not.
Are you, in fact, a magician?
I am not.
Okay, good. That makes it a lot easier for me. Okay, what we're going to do is I would like you to go ahead and grab any one of these cards.
Anyone?
Anyone. Thank you very much. Now, what I'd like you to do is show that card to everybody here, including, you're going to have to show it a little high because there's people back there who haven't seen it. They're a little far back, like this junker. Okay, very cool. Now, what's going to happen, I'm going to ask you, if you wouldn't mind placing it right here on the deck.
Okay.
What I'm going to do now is do my only card manipulation trick. I usually get a standing ovation from wild Wolverines. But what do you do? That wasn't your card, was it? Wouldn't it be cool if that was?
I would, yes.
I know, that'd be fantastic. All right, we're going to play, it's kind of a game. Some might say it's art, some might say it's a science. I think it's a little bit of both. What we're going to do is a little bit of lie deception, or to more aptly put, deception leakage. You ever study Paul Ekman? No, not a lot of people do. It's okay. What we're going to do is, no matter what question I ask you, you're going to say no. Cool?
All right.
No, you're supposed to say no. Okay, so is that okay? Have you ever dated a magician?
No.
All right, I know a lot of the men out there. Okay, have you ever cheated on someone?
No.
Have you ever cheated in cards?
No.
Very good. Give her a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
That is what we call in the scientific community a baseline. What I'm going to try to do now is the next bunch of questions I'm going to ask you, you're still going to say no. I'm going to take that response and compare it to the baseline to determine whether or not you are lying or deceiving me, or whether you are in fact telling me the truth. You ready?
No.
All right, let's. Very good. Oh, she's so good. Oh, she's so good. I'm like, ah. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Now, I'm going to go through this packet of cards right here. By any chance, is your card any one of those cards?
Yeah.
See, very good. Do you guys notice anything different about what you just said right there? No, because there was absolutely nothing different. That was exactly what you did in the baseline. So I'm guessing that you are, in fact, telling me the truth. I'm going to go through the next group of cards. Is your card by any chance in any one of this package stopping there?
No.
No, also the same as the baseline. All right, something's got to change soon or else this is going to be a very, very boring trick to watch. Is your card anywhere in this group right there?
No.
Okay, see, you're giving me a slight voice inflection there. So I'm going to put this in the I have no clue pile. That's going to be right over here. And then is your card anywhere within this group right there? Okay, that was an honest to goodness, very much. That right there was an indicator. Did anybody else catch the indicator? Anybody? You can go, be honest, it's okay. This is a group participation thing. All right, okay, I'll give it to you. The rest of the time she said no, and no. And the last one she went, no. Real quick. So I'm guessing that this one, in fact, was an honest to goodness no, and this one right here is something a little bit different. Now, I've noticed that you didn't really look at these two cards, nor did you look at the last two cards, leaving only these cards in the middle. These are the ones that are going to make me a little difficult. And you're doing very good at not staring directly at that one card. And I notice you don't care whether my hand's on this one, you don't care whether my hand's on this one, which leads me to guess, is that, in fact, your card? That's all right. Or don't. Now, you are very difficult to read, which actually I enjoy because it makes it very difficult for me to be able to do the next part of the trick. Do you mind helping me out with the next part, or would you like to walk away? You would like to help with the next part?
Yes.
Oh, very cool. Now, what I'd like you to do is place your hand out like this, almost like you're going to punch somebody. You're going to put your finger down, just like that, and what I want you to do is drop it into the middle of the deck. What this does is it makes it so I can't force you a card. So here we go. Any moment in time. Right there, very good. If you wouldn't mind grabbing that card right here. Now, before you take it, I want you to put it very close to your chest. And then I want you to turn and face the audience. Okay? Okay, don't even look at it. Okay, now what I want you to do, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to give you, or everyone else is going to see the same view that I'm going to have. I'm going to kind of tilt this way. Now I want you to take a good quick look at your card. I'm going to look away. And I'm going to start asking you questions this time. But instead of last time where you said no every single time, this time you're going to give me absolutely nothing. The best poker face you can possibly give me. Cool? Have you already looked at your card? Okay, very cool. Now, all right, from here on out, I'm going to start saying things, and I want you poker face. Okay, but I want you to kind of tilt towards them, because they need to see everything that I'm seeing as well. Okay. Are you in theater by any chance? Because you're like, I will turn out to the audience. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to say black, and I'm going to say red. I'm going to say black, and I'm going to say red. I'm going to say black, I'm going to say red. Anybody notice when she was blinking and when she started concentrating on blinking? She concentrated on blinking when I said red. So I'm going to guess that your card is, in fact, a red card. Now, I'm guessing you're going to move away from the blinking. I'm going to say a heart or a diamond. A heart or a diamond. A heart or a diamond. She smiles on the diamond. I'm gonna go with the diamond on this one. Now, is it a high card, above the 6 or below the 6? Above the 6, below the 6. Above the 6? Well, you're giving me absolutely nothing. Awesome. Above the 6, below the 6. See, what I just did there is I broke her just a little bit. I got her mind off of her concentration, and by doing that, I now know the card is below the 6. So we've got a diamond, and it's below the 6. That gives me the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6. The 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6. The 1, the 5. It is the 5 of diamonds. Show everybody in the audience, please. Woo! Jeff McBride, very much enjoy story tricks. And this is one of my favorite story tricks. And if you wouldn't mind, I would like to perform it for you now. All right. This is what they call a packet trick, or a 4-card trick. Most of you might guess why it's called a 4-card trick, because it involves 4 cards. Man, you're good at this game. Oh, wow. All right. So here we go. Now, like every good story, this is going to start with a once upon a time. So here we go. Once upon a time, there was a dark-haired king. Now, the dark-haired king, he was enjoying his hair, and he enjoyed being king very much, but the one thing that he loved more than anything else in the world was, in fact, his dark-haired queen. Now, this is where the story gets a little bit odd. The dark-haired king happened to have a twin brother, looked just like him. Some twins are like that. Now, here's where the story gets a little Alabama-y for me. The dark-haired king had his twin brother. The twin brother married the twin sister to our dark-haired queen. So now you have a set of twins married to one another, which is how the trick got its name, Gemini twins. So these two decide to have a double marriage, and on the 2nd anniversary of their double marriage, on February 2nd, they decide to have a double date at a place called the Double Deuce Inn. Now, I realize that's a lot of twos. Speaking of twos, the two ladies decide that they're going to go upstairs and use the powder room together. I do not know why you women decide to use the restroom together. I know for a fact you are, in fact, talking about us. But the other thing I'm thinking is I heard this thing called hovering. I figured maybe you need a spotter or something. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, that leaves our two dark-haired gentlemen downstairs. Thank you. Thank you. I call that a FEMA joke. All right. These are dark-haired gentlemen downstairs alone in a bar, which is not exactly a great idea. The first thing that happens, our first dark-haired king, he starts looking around the bar, and he notices off in the corners this very attractive red-haired woman. He says, that girl's kind of hot. So hot, in fact, I should tell my brother. He says, hey, brother. He says, hey, what? Check out that redhead sitting over there in the bar. And he says, that redhead, oh my goodness, I was looking at that redhead on the other side of the bar. My goodness, we have ourselves some more twins. So they decide to go walk over to these two red-haired women with their best, how you doing, faces on. The joke's a little dated. It's all right if the laughter is too. Let us recap. We have our red-haired women sitting at the bar. Out of nowhere step these two gentlemen who start talking to them. Upstairs, in fact, are their wives, freshly new, wedded, and they come downstairs. They're not going to like what they see one bit. I mean, would you care to see your man or woman talking to someone else?
No.
It's all right. I don't need to anyone talking to me back. It's fine. Anyway, first thing that happens is the dark-haired queen, she walks downstairs. She notices what's going on, decides that she's going to have a little conversation with that red-headed woman. Now, the second dark-haired queen, you need to know about her. She's not as mild-mannered as our first. Well, she hauls off and slaps that red-headed hoochie mama right in the face. Now we have what we call a cat fight in the middle of a bar. And let me tell you, it's a hell of a sight to see. I don't know why us guys enjoy it so much, but man, we do! They start going at it. Nails are being scratched, the hair's being pulled, t-shirts being ripped off, boobs flying everywhere, and that, my friends, is the part that us gentlemen like. All right. After a while, though, the dust starts to settle. The bartenders, the bouncers come over, they settle everything down. The first thing that happens, our first dark-haired queen decides that she's going to pick herself up clean herself off, grab her husband by his nose and pull him out of the place in a rather nasal voice. Now the second dark-haired queen, remember, she's not as mild-mannered as our first. Well, she grabs her husband by a much lower appendage, and now the place he goes in a rather high-pitched voice. Now, this story started with a once upon a time, but it does not have the happily ever after that so many of us really dream to have. So, upon hearing this, I decided I was going to change my story. I was going to make it a little bit better. I decided to add my own happily ever after, and here it is. Remember that red-headed woman sitting alone by herself? Some guy starts hitting her, suddenly she's in the middle of a fight. She doesn't understand why, she doesn't win, but now she is in one. She picks herself up, she cleans herself up, and out of nowhere steps this incredibly good-looking red-haired bartender. She says, oh my goodness, this brother is really hot. I have to introduce you to my twin sister. The bartender says, no need! Why don't we introduce your twin sister to my twin brother? And that, my friends, is happily ever after.